share mine.
No!
What?
Don't take it! Stop! Stop! Ellie, stop!
What?
No! Ellie, no!
Stop! I'm not infected. I'm immune. I'm not coughing, you see? Fuck. Dina. Shit. Can you run?
Yeah. Yes.
Let's fucking go! Go!
After emotionally going through 20 or so hours of gameplay, I can finally say I've reached the end of The Last of Us Part 2. Now, I can review it.
Right here! Don't slow down!
This way. Hurry.
To get it out of the way, for those who just want a quick average score, here it is. For The Last of Us Part 2, I'm giving it a 9.3 out of a total score of 10. The world of The Last of Us Part 2 was meticulously built, the graphics is astounding, and the little bits that they used to fill it, from the letters of the WLF members, the Seraphites, complete strangers just trying to make it through the outbreak, it's just amazing. It is jaw-dropping stuff. The AI was also given some life in the way they interact with each other before and after. Obviously, you come into the mist with Ellie or Abby, depending on where you are in the gameplay. This part leans a bit more into gameplay, so I'm going to continue that in the section.
I heard we might take the fight to them.
Oh, no way. Not after what went down last time. Ah! Chris! Fucking ambush! They keep her back there!
The sights of the game also are grand, better than the first game. From the underground and the train station to the depths of that particularly crazy hospital mission, to the skies and the towers that the Sephiroth used to go through buildings, the bridges they built, everything was just great. If it was visiting Haven, their stronghold, or the stadium where the WLF set up their command, they all felt real and lived in, and it was just amazing.
Is that on rotation with Danny? Yikes.
The gameplay is similar to the previous game, except for a few new additions, which added a new life to the format. I mean, in the previous game, you really couldn't jump, and the most you could do was crouch. But being able to climb up to new heights, being able to go prone in tall grass, or even crawling under cars, it made every encounter like really tense and tactical. And while I don't remember if the first game had any function that allowed you to run away from certain encounters, being able to completely run away from battles is something that I've used and enjoyed in the sequel. Like I began saying in the world section, having intelligent AI looking for you was an interesting addition. I mean, not only did it feel a lot more like real, they were given personalities, they were given conversations, so that even when you had to take them out, you felt a little bit of guilt. This also made for something else interesting in the game. Encounters with the WLF played differently to that of the Seraphites. The former were more vocal in their callouts and even used dogs to track you. The latter, the Seraphites, were far stealthier and using whistles to communicate as well as silent weapons when they searched for you. But yeah, also the weapon choices and the weapon differences between Ellie and Abby. So Ellie, they give Ellie a lot more quiet weapons, a lot more, weapons that I guess she herself can handle in a realistic sense. Abby had the machine guns, the fire weapon, I forgot what it's called. The flamethrower, sorry, I can't believe I forgot that. The flamethrower, she had shotguns, she could craft shotgun shells. Her playthrough felt a lot more aggressive, which was nice. Also, one thing that I have to admit that I didn't really like for Abby was that for Abby's playthrough, you had to create shifts, while for Ellie, she had a pocket knife that just worked. And I felt that was it was a little nice difference between both. But yeah, I was not really a fan of crafting shifts again. But yeah, gameplay wise, also before I leave this section, the length of the game, I would say, is partly why I reduced the score for gameplay. I felt that the game went a bit too long. I think it could have been shorter. Like most of what the story was trying to say, I felt like they could quite literally make the whole game at least 2 or 3 hours shorter. To be honest, it could be more, but yeah, they could have shaved a few hours off it. But yeah, that's really it for gameplay for me.
That's why Nick was fucked up like that.
Last but not the least
Get her to Isaac.
is the story.
Exactly what
Now, I know I put spoiler tags at the beginning of the video, but I'm going to hold off some more things because I think the game is better enjoyed when you play it than when you hear the story from someone else.
No, let's talk to her. Let's figure
Still,
out what
if
she
you
knows.
haven't seen any
Fuck what
leaks,
she knows.
if you haven't
You
seen
saw what
anything
she
of the
did to the
story,
others.
if you
You have
haven't
no
read
idea how many people she
the
might get
plot
with just
on
by getting
Wikipedia or
out.
anything
How
like
many
that,
people she's with, we will find
I'm about to touch on a big spoiler point, which sort of kickstarts the game. So, here are new tags. You can skip ahead for about 2 minutes or so if you want to avoid it. Okay? Right. So, here's the spoiler. The game more or less begins by Joel, from the first game, dying by Abby's hands, and you, as Ellie, you watch it happen. That starts the whole journey of the game. That starts the whole journey from Ellie to go to Seattle looking for Abby to get her revenge. And now, while the overall theme of the game was that revenge is too costly and it isn't really worth it in the end, I would say that at some points it felt like the message was being hammered into my head. I mean, for games like this, you kind of usually get where it's trying to go to, and I felt like they kept reiterating the same point over and over again, which after a while gets a bit grating, right? Which is partly what led to me removing a point from it. Another reason was that the way the story was structured, I felt it could have been better because when you start playing the story as Ellie, it's literally building to a confrontation with Abby, and it builds, it's getting tense. It gets to the end when you think it's about to go down, and then it cuts, and then you do a similar storyline build with Abby, and I felt like that didn't quite go as well as I think it could have. To be honest, when you play the full game, you probably wouldn't even notice it that much, but it's one of those things that stuck out to me. But still, even with that, I think the story is, or rather, I think the story was expertly told, and honestly, I enjoyed every minute of it. But yeah, that's why my review is 9.3. I would definitely say the game is worth having and worth playing through at least once. But yeah, if you've played the game, tell me what your favorite section was in the comments. And as always, if you're enjoying my content, give me a like and subscribe for more content like this.
Go back. But we're done.